Good morning, and we're in sections 83. Only 6 verses, so it will be easy. And the revelation was given through Joseph Smith, the prophet, in Independence, Missouri. So remember, they traveled to Missouri. They had the big conference, the 80, Revelation in 82, and it's all about how they're setting up the United Order. And this revelation was received as the prophet sat in council with his brethren. So this is like 4 days later. He's still sitting in council. They've probably been talking. You think about it. They must be working on different things. And I think this was specifically talking about how the United Order was going to look, how the church was going to, or the United Firm at that time, but United Order, how the church was going to look after everyone. And remember, it's not just, this was, especially in these more rugged areas like Missouri and things, there wasn't really government support. So if you fell ill, you had to rely on your family and the community to help out, because there wasn't any real government subsidies. There's no government to speak of, really, too much, and so they needed that. I kind of think also that this was on Joseph Smith's mind because of his close brush with death, him and Sidney Rigdon, as they were pulled out of their home in Kirtland area, and I think it's Johnson, was it on the Johnson farm, I think, but that may be on his mind as well, of how do we look after someone? What if he would have died? How would Emma and the children be looked after? At least this is what I'm experiencing here. I don't think he necessarily thought he would die. I don't know, but it was a brush with death, and maybe I thought, what happens to Emma and their children? So yeah, I kind of feel that that's where we come in with this. Now remember, they didn't have all the things we have today, and under perfect conditions, this probably was one of the best ways to look after everyone, is with one of the heads of the house making sure that the rest of the family were looked after temporally, you might say. And in this situation, it's the same, and it's the same in the New Testament as well. So let's read it. Thus saith the Lord, in addition to the laws of the church concerning women and children, those who belong to the church who have lost their husbands and fathers. So that's the introduction. This is about people who have actually lost their husbands and fathers. And that's why I'm wondering if there was some concern on Joseph Smith's mind, that what happens if, women have claim on their husbands for their maintenance until their husbands are taken. And if they are not found transgressors, they shall have fellowship in the church. So notice how it says that women have claim on their husbands, meaning they can expect this. They can expect their husbands to take care of them, leaving them to do other things that are just as important or more important. And if they are not faithful, they shall not have fellowship in the church, just meaning that their membership would be in question. Yet they may remain upon their inheritance according to the laws of the land. When that sounds like, oh well, that's nice, letting them have what they already have to inherit. Remember, we're talking about united firm or the united order, which will be the people who own the land that these people build on. So it'll be, if this husband before he died and wife, they get this stewardship that we've talked about several times already, then after having that stewardship, the man gets sick and dies. It's saying that same stewardship, even though it was given from the church, still will be yours as an inheritance, even if you're not faithful. We wouldn't take that away. All children have claim upon their parents for their maintenance until they are of age. And after that, meaning after they're of age, they have claim upon the church, or in other words, the Lord's storehouse, if their parents have not wherewith to give them inheritances. And the storehouse shall be kept by the consecrations of the church. And the widows and the orphans shall be provided for, as also the poor. Amen. So it's letting us know that women and children will be looked after. We're not going to leave any behind. We're going to make sure that they're okay. I think that is something that we should consider today. How do we look after those who are single parents and who are and so forth? We have more government policies now in most of the world. So often it will be, we still look today that we have that individuals should look first to the family. Second, usually it's, I think, I don't want to get it wrong because I don't want to say that it's church policy when I'm not looking it up and reading it directly, but second would usually be any government assistance that they may be able to get. And of course third is the church itself. So that's how we kind of run it. But these principles are principles to help those people, and they do help people even today. As some um, what was I going to say? Some of the I lost what I was saying. Basically, I keep doing that this week. Anyway, people are going to be looked after, and the church will have them first have claim on their families, and then turning to both the government and Lord. In some places, the government won't be able to step in, and the church will. That's the best way to put it. I apologize for some of the times losing concentration in these. I think I did that quite a bit yesterday and maybe a couple of days this week. It seems like this week's been hard on concentration. Maybe it's the summer weather or something. But I give these out there as they are. I don't polish them up and shine them up. I wouldn't be able to do these as I am if I were spending a few hours or even more time polishing them up. That's not what I'm doing. There's some really good podcasts out there that's more like that. This is just a daily vlog. And so you get all of the little quirks that come with it, which part of the quirks is me. Sometimes I slow down a little bit and are thinking about things and lose my concentration in what I was trying to say. Especially yesterday, I felt like I was tired. I had done it twice. The first one, I'm going, this is not working out, and got rid of that one, and then did the second version, and I think it turned out better, but I still feel like I kind of went on slowed down a little bit in some parts and lost concentration. And I'm sorry if you have to go through all that, but it is how I'm doing these, and I hope it helps people somehow. I guess the last thing I wanted to talk about was on this. I've seen firsthand how these principles have helped my own family. I lost my father when I was 2 years old, and my mother raised 9 children, ages of a few weeks old to, I think, 16 years old, and had to raise all of those children herself. And there were times when I know that both the community, the family, and the church has been there to help us out. And it has really blessed my life to see this sort of principles put in order, put in action. And I hope that that's where I can leave it, is maybe there are people that you can help that could just use that uplift. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. If I can get out of here. Don't know why it's on that.